Mr. Sunshine is back with us here at his weekly visit. Ryan Divish of the Seattle Times, our MLB insider. You can follow him for all of his great insight, by the way, on his favorite platform, X, at Ryan Divish. His weekly appearance with us is brought to you by Chalet Bowl, Washington's oldest operating bowling alley, proudly serving the community since 1941. Located in Tacoma's historic Proctor District, they have been family-owned and operated for 40 years, delivering top-notch customer service, including Ryan, and a unique 12-lane experience. Check him out, chaletbowl.com. And he's got the beautiful background. If you're watching, if you're just listening, he looks like he's in paradise wherever he's set up. Good for you.
It's not too bad here. Everybody's Mr. Sunshine with this weather. How hot did you get yesterday? I know this kind of heat does not work well for you.
Oh.
I mean, I think of you and my buddy Alex Akita as 3 or 4 Gold Bond spray pumps a day, And yesterday it was cooking. Like, it was not enjoyable.
What do you think our inside? We do not have. We have a 1929-year-old brick house. Do not have AC. It was at one point, I think the hottest it got inside was 83.
You could do hot yoga in that.
It was brutal.
Yeah,
absolutely brutal.
So, like, here in my cousin's house in Ording, we have central air, but you know how it is, like, upstairs, it gets hot, and the way my window faces, it's hot. So last night, it got warm in there, and I woke up, and I was sweating, and there's nothing worse than waking up when you're sweating when you're sleeping.
Oh.
Other than, like, if you're trying to, deuce while you're sweating, I always say that's why you don't want to use a porta potty for that.
Yeah, no.
Or like in Baltimore right now where you work and you're just sweating. So no, it was a little bit warm yesterday. I had to run to the Tacoma Mall and
just hang out there. Just hang out in the mall.
Yeah, it was like I looked for any excuse to go in. I walked around Dick's for like an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I even went into the Lululemon for a second just to look around, just because I was like, I don't want to go back out in this.
They make some great stuff, great shorts.
Yeah,
Lululemon.
they are.
Great shorts.
My girlfriend made me get some, and they are
game changers.
But you know what? And I know you cannot buy the 9-inch inseam in stores. You have to order them online, and I can't. I'm not
someone
wearing
like
the 7.
Someone like you should have the 7. You've built with those legs.
I got a pretty good sized dumper myself, and so they don't fit right on the 7s very well.
Okay,
so
you would look good in it. Yeah, it was warm. We were at the Vampire. The 12-year-olds got football practice, and I'm just like, and
well, they didn't go 2.5 hours like the Seahawks did yesterday.
No, they do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours out in that.
That's how you get kids to quit playing football, honestly. That's what happened with my stepson is like they played in a game where it was like 3 degrees out, and they played in it, and it was just like horrible weather, and like he just never wanted to play after that. Yeah,
you've started to see some of the weeding out.
Yeah.
there's no doubt about it. I've always told anybody, you get through that practice, man. You can get through anything. But yeah, it was hot, and they practiced like on this, a turf field.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And it's not, there's no shade. I mean, you are completely exposed.
Yeah.
Poor kids, man. They was just dying out there. It's hot. It was warm. Which leads us. I wasn't going to start there with it, but now since we're just talking, it's weather talk with you and I. You and I could do like a whole 40 minutes on just weather. That was a scary scene with Munoz last night in Baltimore, and something that he had talked about. It's the second time that has happened to him, and I would imagine these guys that are playing on the West Coast, when they go back there in the summer, I can only imagine just the change and difference that weather is on people from the West Coast. Hell, we saw it earlier this year in Chicago. With how much that weather and the heat can affect those guys.
Yeah, I mean, especially because the humidity. Baltimore is just like, it's like just playing in a smelly sauna the whole time, and it's just not what you want. Like, I mean, my goal in life is to never have to go back to Camden Yards anytime soon. So, like, I've been there a lot, and there's just the climate there is never any mild. It's always extreme. It's either extremely chilly, or else it's just gross. And I think that's one thing too, is like your body just doesn't have time to adjust. You're in there for a day or so. Munoz is out in the bullpen where they don't have air conditioning. You're in sleeves and everything. Cause like I was talking with Cindy last night, and she says, well, it didn't seem to bother Kirby. And I said, but they go back into the clubhouse in between innings and sit in the clubhouse where it's kind of air conditioning. They have these fans and stuff because they don't watch the game. Like when the Mariners bat, they're trying to like calm down, relax and get where it's cool. And like with Munoz, you're just sitting out in the bullpen. Plus he wears the long sleeves. And let's be honest too, like these guys are pounding Red Bulls and stuff like that. They're not drinking the water the way they should. They should all have liquid IVs out there or whatever. But yeah,
that's what I was thinking that they should just be hooked up to IVs.
Yeah, I know.
During that entire game. And the other thing is why have them sit out there?
Yeah, I know.
In the first why have them sit out there in the first 5 innings of the game? Well, have them back in the clubhouse.
A lot of closers never went out there till like the 5th. Yeah. But Munoz is a good teammate and he wants to hang out there, so I understand it. But I just think that I remember like I had a problem with this when I was in younger and in college. And it didn't really affect me, because I wasn't playing baseball in college. Really, I was playing fast pitch and stuff. And like I get heat stroke a lot or get heat sickness. And it's worse than any hangover you can ever get when you get heat sickness because the headache that comes with it and the nausea and everything. It's like having the worst. It's like day drinking all day in the sun and then you get that hangover at night. And so like I just was doing some research and like the one trainer said, you know what I mean? Like you play in a golf scramble at 9 a.m. when it's hot and you start, they have the Bloody Marys on the tee. Then you're doing it, and then you do shots. If somebody birdies, it's like by 6 o'clock, you feel like you've drank for 30 hours straight, and you just never want to drink again, especially if it's hot. That's how you feel. But I trained in it. Like I started training in the heat specific to that to adjust your body. But these guys don't have time for that. So it's definitely something to be concerned about. As somebody would say, is just drink dill pickle juice, eat pickles, and drink dill pickle juice. My football coach used to make all of us drink shots of white vinegar before the game and at halftime to fight cramping.
What's with the dill pickle juice? The salt, is that why?
The vinegar has a ton of potassium in it, and then the dill, like for the dill pickle and stuff, there's a ton of salt. So everybody, dill pickles, eat pickles, drink dill pickle juice.
Okay, man. Well, sorry, Gatorade.
It's a great, like when you're hungover, like if you can stomach it, like just drink.
I love pickles though. I mean, I'm in. I can eat a whole jar of pickles,
and so it's like I'll have to bring you some. She makes these spicy ones that are perfect for Bloody Marys. It's like the best thing.
Come on. Pickles. Oh, I've never really had a pickle in a Bloody Mary.
It's
asparagus, yes.
Life-changing. When I used to bartend, my secret to making, I never used Tabasco to make it spicy. I had a different hot sauce I got from Louisiana, but I also would take pepperoncini juice. Put a little bit of that in there because the spicy pepperoncini juice, and it's salty.
Guys, this is why you pay for it. It's this type of stuff, not the Mariners. It's how do you make?
I mean, they're boring. They win all the goddamn time.
How do you make a proper Bloody Mary? Hey, back to Munoz. The first thing I thought about with him was get the sleeves off. Why are you wearing long sleeves up there? It's 88 degrees in the humidity. But yeah, wow.
I mean, could you how many shirts? Like, say you were playing 18 in that weather. One, like you couldn't wear certain pairs of shorts because the ass funk that was coming through it would be showing. So then you would look like you'd have sweat ass showing while you're playing. And then it's like multiple shirts.
But it's such a different heat. Like I played in it like a couple weeks ago, 100 degrees. But 100 degrees here is not that.
Oh no,
like that.
No.
That I've been I think 2 or 3 times back there. In the summer in the East Coast, and it's just god awful.
Yeah,
it's awful.
Like St. Louis in September, I've been there, never going back. And then I got to go, my first road trip back since I managed to get out of this one.
Yeah, how did you get out of this trip?
So I wasn't certain of my schedule coming back, and there was a chance that the regional tournament would be wrapping up on Monday, which a team from Montana that we had beaten won. So don't get me started on that.
We won't.
But so, and then Booth wanted to take his family on the East Coast, and he's taking his son to the Williamsport game. And to me, while the Williamsport game would be very cool, that's also my hell, of screaming kids everywhere. So he's doing that. And then Adam wanted to do Philly. And so I was like, you know what? So my first trip is Cleveland, Tampa, Atlanta in September for the first week of September.
Boy, you really got the golden ticket.
My next one is Kansas City and Houston.
But is Cleveland? I've heard good reports on
No,
Cleveland.
like
No,
Cleveland as a whole is like the city itself, like where you're at and where you can stay
yeah.
in the park. It's really cool. Like, and
Okay.
there's some cool stuff down there. But like getting into Cleveland, at least with Alaska, there's a direct in. But like Cleveland's only their anchor, they have like their only anchor airline there is Frontier.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm
No to any other airline
no,
except
so
that.
like when I have to go from Cleveland to Tampa,
Oh,
I could take a direct flight on Frontier, and I was like, nope, I'll take the American flight connecting
yep.
Charlotte. I'm not
Yes,
doing
you
that.
will. You will connect 3 times before you take Frontier.
But yeah, it's like
Oh.
that heat. I can't even imagine being Cal Raleigh catching it in.
All right, I don't know how you get prepared for it. It's
like
just
the breeze
it's not the
doesn't-
heat, but you're right. It's the humidity. I remember a couple like years ago we were in North Carolina in July, and I'm just you get outside at like 9 in the morning, and it's just like it's just on you.
and there doesn't seem to be any breeze off the water. Like I think when you're in South Carolina, you get the breeze off the ocean and stuff. Like in Baltimore, even off the harbor, it just kind of sits, and it just sits in there. And Baltimore's press box is not climate controlled. They don't even have windows for it, so it just sits in there. No, they don't have any climate control.
Hold on. What do you mean? So they have no AC?
No, there's no AC in the press box.
Well, wait a minute. Are there windows?
There's windows. Yeah,
they just open up the windows.
They don't even have windows. They just open.
Oh my god!
And back in the old days, they used to have these plastic screens they'd pull down, so it just made it worse.
And
they have a couple fans in the back, but no, it's horrible. Like the paper will stick to your arms while you're, like, and then
are they trying to kill the reporters? What are they trying to do?
And like it rains every day there in the summer. Like you get that little 1 hour, 2 hour rain. So like 2 years ago when I was there, that was when I wrecked on the scooter. Because it was raining, so I decided I was going to take a scooter from my hotel to the ballpark, and this car cut out in front of me, and I just basically wrecked and slid across an intersection. Where they, how they have them kind of painted, so it was all slippery, and so I just slid across the intersection. And I like got up, and I was trying to punch the car, like hit the back of the car because I was so pissed at it.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and then I looked at my leg, and there was chunks of the asphalt still stuck in my leg. And I'm like, this is a problem. So then I had to have the Mariners trainers like pick out all the stuff.
Oh God, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, no Baltimore. No on Baltimore.
Someday
yes to Cleveland.
Someday when it's slow, or maybe in the off season, I'll go through all the places you should go and not go. And as a fan,
I want to go to all of them, but I just
I mean, Baltimore in April might be better, or May. August.
Well, they are just you mentioned they're boring. They just keep winning. It was dominant last night. I mean, Kirby was just fantastic. I mean, from the first inning, 9 pitches. The last inning, I think it's 5 pitches. He just was never really in any trouble. He looked vintage Kirby. He has been kind of vintage Kirby here in his last 12 starts or so. So you got that, and they just 10-1, I believe their record is since the trade deadline.
Yeah.
They're on fire. They've tied Houston. Houston's kind of falling apart right now, and they just I don't know. Everyone's doing the same story on them. Every national outlet, this is the team to beat in the American League. But boy, they certainly Div, they're showing it. They're showing that they're the best team right now in the American League.
I mean, like with how they're playing, and then also just like looking at their lineup, and Suarez is really isn't even doing anything.
Nothing.
And it's still pretty good. I expect him to kind of get going on this trip. More hitter friendly ballparks. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to watch because like we talked about it before, but I don't recall, since I started covering the beat in 2006, this is the best lineup they've ever rolled out there in terms of like, it's not just like the hitting or the names. It's just how athletic they are. They can move, they can run. You look at the stolen base numbers. Just defensively, they're pretty solid. I mean, think about this. In 3 weeks, they'll get Victor Robles back. In about 4 days, they'll get, maybe even tomorrow, you'll get Luke Raley back. Yeah. I mean, like they're getting more athletic as they go. And, there's like really not a lot of free outs. Like the kid at the bottom who's 21, like his at bat the other day against the Rays, against Griffin Jacks to set up Cal Raleigh's homer. I mean, like that was just, he's down 2 strikes and he takes 98 and just punches it through because he can hit velo. Like that kid can hit 98, 99. He's totally not afraid of it. And for him, it's like he gets the hit. He's like, bro, we're going to go play some Fortnite after this and maybe get somebody to buy us beer.
He looks like he's 9.
I know.
Since he got rid of the mustache, he looks like he's 9 years old.
Yeah.
He's just a phenomenal baseball player.
So man. I can see why the national guys are jumping on, and they always jump on about 5 days after everybody else around here sort of recognizes it. But you look at everything. If Kirby's going to be like that, and I think we've seen flashes of what Gilbert used to be, and if Bryce Miller comes back at all, I mean, they're doing this without one of their better pitchers from last season, and one of their best pitcher from last season not really having the year you expected. So it's like they have a lot of pieces in play. They can get better. I mean, my only concern is like when if you have to use that, and they've used their back end guys so much, like they got Brash a day yesterday, but that bridge from Bizardo to whoever you get to your leverage, Bizardo or Vargas or Coar or anything, it's still a little shaky at times. Like Bizardo was pretty good last night, but like it's 1-0. He gives up the 2-out single, and I thought for certain, like, oh yeah, he's giving up.
But isn't that only a problem right now in the regular season?
Yeah,
because when they get in the postseason, it's going to be a different animal because the guys that are left out of the rotation are going to be those guys.
Exactly, but to get to the postseason and to get to where they want to in the postseason, which is win the division title, and also get one of the top 2 seeds because they're knocking on that door.
Of course,
so that you get the first round bye and really set up your rotation. I mean, you need those middle relief guys, here down the stretch because it's going to be, they've run. I mean, like every time I jokingly said at some point Gabe Spire's arm is going to fly off on one pitch because they've used him so much, but like they need those guys somehow to come through.
What about, hey, I just saw this. I saw this on Twitter the other day, and I you know what? I have no idea how he's been. I guess I could probably look it up real quick, and I probably should have done before I asked you. Didn't Kendall Graveman just get released?
Yeah, he's been really beat up this year, though. But I'm sure they'll look at it. The thing is like they won't claim him off of waivers because they don't want they don't want to pay that money he's owed.
Yeah, right.
But you could probably, if you can get him to sign on a minor league free agent or whatever, because he's already getting the money. But that's another thing. He doesn't have options, so you want him to pitch a little bit before you come back. You really want to carry him. If you can convince him to take the split deal or whatever, send him to Tacoma for 6 or 7 days to pitch and then bring him back, certainly, But that's the one thing is you don't have roster flexibility. He doesn't have options. That's the problem with these guys is, really only Legumina and Coar have options, I believe, that are left. And so you can't maneuver as much as maybe they would in past years. Because I checked in, like I asked about if they had any interest in Nick Birdie, he was a second round pick the Red Sox just released, and he throws hard and he's got, a lot of talent. He's just been injured a lot. And the thinking was, well, we have some interest, but it's, is it the fit? He doesn't have options. Does he have they don't have kind of the fit, like if you're going to try it. Because Jerry's rule used to always be, if you're a first or a second round pick, we're going to take a look at you just because you were taking that high. But there are, it's kind of player specific. You remember Forrest Whitley, who was kind of the top prospect for the Astros for a long time and stuff. He was out there, and not a lot of teams took a chance on him just because, like, it's again, like if you don't have options and stuff like that, that's a difficult thing to maneuver. Whereas this guy they just claimed from the Braves the other day, I think he has 2 option years left. Take a flyer on him, see if you can fix him.
Okay, so if you're looking ahead, and you just mentioned, it looks like we expect Luke Raley tomorrow. We're as we record this on Wednesday, maybe before they wrap it up against Baltimore. We do know this. He's coming back soon. So Raley comes back, and then Robles played his first rehab game yesterday on Tuesday night. So he needs 40 or 50 at bats before he comes back. So then they'll have some decisions to make. Let's first start with Raley. Raley comes back. What do you think? What direction do you think Dipoto goes in on the roster?
I mean, if you're going left for left, they can just move. They can option Mastroboni back to Tacoma and kind of piece it together there. I thought maybe Luke would just go with him on the trip, but maybe they want to get him some extra ABs. He hasn't. because of the injuries that he's had this year, he hasn't played a ton. So getting some extra ABs is good. Like last night, he struck out 3 times and hit a ball 440 feet, which
I saw your video that you posted or just
was
reposted.
Annihilated. I mean,
yeah, he got into that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, like they could do that. You know, I think we're all kind of counting the days for how long Solano remains on the team, you know, just because he's like position redundant. You know, Naylor is pretty capable of playing almost every day, even if there's a lefty on the mound. So, you know, the weird thing is they're going to be super lefty heavy because of Canzone.
For a team that had lacked left-hand hitters for so long.
Yeah.
Like now they've got a ton of them.
But, you know, I didn't think it was a coincidence yesterday by any means that Luke played center field yesterday for the Rainiers because they've been grinding Julio pretty hard, you know. And so if you can get Julio maybe a DH day and put Luke in center, you know, he's a better center fielder than what you got there. That's a really nice option to have. And I mean, I would think on this road trip we may see that where if Luke comes back, he gets a game in center, Julio gets a DH day, something like that, because they've been pushing him pretty hard. I mean, Julio's hitting well or playing better, so you want to play him, but at the same time, you don't want, you know, if you could recall the last couple years about this time, Julio would have some back issues, stuff like that, kind of get dinged up from playing, and he plays so hard in the field. So getting him a day here or there, or Randy a day here or there, isn't a bad thing. Like it gives you better options. You're not putting Mastroboni as your extra outfielder out there defensively late in games. If you want to put Luke out there instead of Canzone, that's better too. I mean, that gives you a better option off the bench. You get a little squirrely with your infield defense, but, you know, I mean, Dylan Moore is obviously there for his glove, not his bat right now, and that's why, you know, you keep him there.
It was a good point. So they played 120 games. He's played 119.
Yeah. So it's like, so you know, this is a time where you want to steal a day here or there. Yeah. And like they have one off day on this. They don't have an off day on this road trip, so it's like, you know, you got to grind it out. So I think we'll see Luke maybe get a center field start just to give Julio day, a he'll DH or something like that.
So do you think they wait? So then when Robles comes back, what do you think?
So
if they do Mastroboni with Raley, then they do Solano once Robles comes back?
They don't actually have to do that because if you look at it, Robles started yesterday. They want him to get 40 to 50 plate appearances, and then the rosters expand on September 1st. So 40 to 50 plate appearances, it's August 13th.
Yeah.
You know, they don't play on Mondays. So, you know, he'll probably play a few more days this week. Plus, they're going to mix in off days for him to keep him healthy. And he got dotted twice last night.
Twice. Once in the ribs and once on the leg.
Yeah. Jesus. And he went straight soccer player on both of them, too, which I love. You know, just like, get the stretcher, get the cooling spray. But, yeah, so, like, it kind of slots out that, you know, you can bring him back around September 1st when rosters expand. I was wondering if they would bring up Harry Ford when rosters expand, have the third catcher, but I don't know. They're in a weird spot that way.
Because they go 26 to 28, right?
Yeah, 28. Okay. One pitcher, one position player. So
I forgot about that. You can only I forgot about that. So you can't. Okay.
So that's the one thing too, though, is like you say somebody like Graveman, or I think Ryan Presley's a free agent now. Some of these guys like that. You know, it's easier to do that come September 1st.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to do it like the 31st because if they're not on your roster September 1st, they can't pitch in the postseason. So, like, they have to be in a 40-man by September 1st. They can't play in the postseason. So, or in your org, I think. So that's part of it.
When does the Rainiers season wrap up?
They go through all of September.
Okay.
Because they wanted that because in past years, like about 3 or 4 years ago, when you get to September and you have the call-ups or whatever, but you couldn't send players anywhere if they were hurt to rehab. They'd have to go to extended spring training. And so the Tacoma season runs, I think, just a week short of the Major League season.
Okay. I was just curious, you know, if they could, you know, because I was going to assume that they, you know, to your point, that Ford was going to be called up at some point.
I mean, like, it makes sense in a lot of ways just because it gives Cal a day and, like, you know, it gives Harry a chance to see get some big league time and everything else. And, you know, I think whether you keep him or trade him, that's, you know, important at some level. I think at this point, you know, his value is going to be what his value is going to be. You know, and I watched, did you see the video of the catcher they drafted last night, that Luke Stevenson guy?
I saw what you posted, yeah.
Yeah, he got a little lower half on him, don't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. They could do both. I mean, like they could really easily kind of dump Solano. He's not playing a ton.
I think he hasn't played since the 8th. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's been damn near a week that he hasn't played. Hey, speaking of Tacoma, shot, look at this brand new Rainiers hat. For those just listening on the audio, you're like, well, I got a brand new Rainiers hat that was sent to me in the mail. There was no note, and I was like, who the hell sent this? I'm gonna figure, because you and I were talking before we started recording. I'm gonna figure it's Kyle. Kyle, I'm gonna screw up your last name. Okay, I just trust me. McGilvray. Kyle McGilvray, who is the merchandise and retail operations manager. So he runs the team store. Kyle, if this is from you, thank you very much. The Tacoma Rainiers, beautiful hat that you sent in. They are the best hat.
Best hat in minor league baseball.
I think it's almost the best hat in baseball.
Yeah. I mean, like I get more compliments wearing Rainiers hats, and I have, 15 of them, thanks to Kyle. He didn't give them to me, but like, I have an assortment, but that's the
kind of a big deal over here, Divish. Kind of a big deal.
I believe that is the hat from their WSU Cougars night.
Yeah,
it's
a great looking hat.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Akita, our friend Alex Akita, has all the ones from the Husky nights. So
of course he does. Hey, you brought up Gilbert, but I just want to finish that. Thank you, Kyle. Tacoma Rainiers, go visit the Tacoma Rainiers team store. They've just got great stuff there. You brought up Logan Gilbert earlier, and he gets the start here on Wednesday in the second game there against Baltimore. He has not worked deep into games. In fact, the only time he has pitched into the seventh inning or finished 7 innings was his first start of the year. He's been good, Ryan, but he just hasn't been like – he's been good for 5 innings, but then it just kind of we've seen this trend where it kind of falls apart after that. I don't mean completely falls apart, but doesn't look as sharp, and then they pull him. So, I don't know what they're doing, if they want to take it slow with him or what's going on, but he just hasn't, have been able to work deeper into these games. So what are you noticing with him?
Well, it's just, he says everything feels the same and his mentality is still the same, but some of the efficiency isn't there. And that may be a scouting report too. Like they know he's probably trying to steal some early contact, throwing a splitter early in the count, getting a ground ball, some of the breaking stuff that he tries to steal strikes with. So then you've seen some deeper counts or some longer counts. I mean, a lot of foul balls on him, obviously, as well. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, because I think the one day he had 31 foul balls in a game. I mean, or 35 foul balls in a game. That just kills your pitch count,
Right.
Of
course.
So I think, he just hasn't been as efficient maybe as he wants. When he gets to 2 strikes, hasn't been able to put guys away. And I haven't looked as closely at maybe his repertoire and like what he's doing. Is he, is he doing anything different because of the flexor strain? And like, are they backing off on certain pitches that they feel like led to it? I do think they're also like kind of controlling his usage because they don't want any sort of return to that. So I think, I do think here in this last 2 months, we'll see them push the gas pedal on a little bit more. But he even talked about that his mentality is still the same. He feels like he's still the same on the mound, but he's just not getting deep into games. But like he's getting more strikeouts, though, if you noticed.
Yeah.
His strikeout rate is pretty high. And like he said, he goes, yeah, I got a lot of strikeouts, but I only went 5. He goes, I guess if I was going 8 and didn't get very many strikeouts, I'd be wondering why I wasn't getting many strikeouts. So it's
I think that's the mentality of some of these guys, though, is that they want all these strikeouts, but when you get all these strikeouts, your pitch count gets way up rather than just getting outs and just working deeper into games.
I think a lot of the mindset, like, a lot of pitching coaches and just coaches in general, and you read about this stuff. It's like you tell them it's a race to get to 2 strikes and then finish them. So get to 2 strikes as fast as you possibly can. Yeah. And then once you get to 2 strikes, go for the kill. Cause like strikeouts are great, especially with runners on base. But what's happening is he gets to 2 strikes. A lot of times he ends up going to 3 balls plus some foul balls,
mm-hmm.
And I'd have to look at his average pitches per plate appearance to pitchers, or to hitters. But it does seem like, at least in the couple that I've watched closely in person, it's like, he gets to where he wants to go, goes for the kill, and isn't getting that swing and miss pitch that he maybe had before. And sometimes it's down to execution where it's just off or it's just not a competitive pitch and they don't swing at it. And sometimes it's like, I think, scouting report, they kind of know it's coming and they're not going to chase it. And they call it going strike to ball. some of the pitches that maybe he got swings and misses on a year ago, he's not getting swings and misses on now. But that can change too. You tweak something here or there and,
Sure.
Find something and he'll go.
Last thing quickly for you, Bryce Miller. I think he makes one more rehab start, should join the team next week. Sounds like the plan?
Yeah, I think it's tonight. Sorry.
Picked the wrong time to quit smoking, huh?
Yeah, I think it's tonight in Vegas. 85 pitches. I think if he comes out of that good, he'll make a start in Philly. That's kind of what he was told too. So it's all just a matter of whether he comes through or not. That's, they got Castillo the extra day, and they've gotten for this trip and everything. So I think it's going to work out pretty well for him. But yeah, I mean, getting him back and getting him throwing would be big. And I think if you can, I think a lot of us believe that he'll be pitching in the bullpen once he gets to the postseason, but you still need him pitching now and accumulating innings and everything else. So I think that's really big for him.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, our MLB insider from the Seattle Times, Ryan Divish. His weekly appearance all brought to you by Chalet Bowl, family owned and operated for over 40 years. They have been delivering top-notch customer service and a unique 12-lane experience. Check them out at chaletbowl.com. All right. We will talk to you next week. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.